Hello everyone, today I'll be surviving 100 days in a village-only world. And this will probably be the most weirdest 100 days I've ever done. And this video was originally made by AgroLive, so make sure to go check them out. And also, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. We're almost to 20,000 subscribers, and I really want to get the report done this month. Anyways, enjoy the video. Here we go, day one. Now, with any hardcore world that I do, I always kind of do the same thing, and that's probably just getting some materials. And luckily, there was a bunch of hay bales, so this made it easy for food. And since this was a village-only world, I mean, there's a lot to explore. I even found a blacksmith pretty early on, but it didn't really have the best stuff, you know, no diamonds, but I was kind of hoping for that, but you know what? You win some, you lose some. I even found this boat just kind of glitched into the house. Felt bad for the villager who was stuck in there, but right across was an abandoned portal, which, you know, had general stuff, just like golden tools and ingots. And honestly, yeah, for most of these days, I was just kind of ransacking the villages for any loot that they had. And honestly, the easiest way to get iron was just killing all the massive amounts of golems that were there. Although, killing this golem took a bit longer with the golden sword. I genuinely expected it to be faster. And I found more abandoned portals. There was actually a lot of them. And, you know, after I ransacked it, I just, you know, just decided to leave the golden blocks. Apparently, I didn't care for them. I'm just that smart. Eventually, I found my way to a spruce village, which had more blacksmiths, but it was mainly just iron armor. And you could see me jumping up and down. Look how massive these villages are. Like, honestly, it's just insane. And even the chests there had some emeralds, so you know your boy snagged those. And I didn't really put this clip in for the loot. I just wanted to show you how significantly incompetent I am to just leaving the gold blocks of it. Anyways, by day 8, I finally found a village where I'd probably stay at just because, you know, I've been wandering around for literally 8 days. I was, you know what, I think it's time I just stay here. For days 9 and 10, I used all the massive amounts of obsidian that I had from looting the blacksmiths, and I decided to just go ahead and go to the nether, because why not? And I didn't realize that I guess nether fortresses and bastions increased in spawn rate too, because there was a lot of them. And the only reason that this was 2 days long is because I got completely lost, because I have no sense of direction, because I'm an idiot. You'll probably hear me saying that I'm an idiot many times, just for I don't know why. Luckily, I finally found the portal and went home, because, you know, last thing I want to be is trapped in the nether for 100 days. Now, on day 11, I just kind of looked around trying to find out where would be a good place to build my house, just because there's a lot of villages, so, you know, I wanted to have enough space to build one. And I was kind of upset that there wasn't as many blacksmiths as I thought there'd be. Okay, here we go. So I finally managed to find an area where I was going to build my house. The problem is, well, I think I've done this almost every time, is that my house was going to be on the side of a mountain, so it did take some time to build, just because first off I have to hollow it out, and then I build, so it's kind of like an extra step that you have to do to make one of these houses. And I was kind of lazy. I literally used cobblestone and oak planks as the floor. I don't know why. I think it was just the most materials I have. But then I instantly scrapped that idea. I don't know why. I just felt like it was too ugly, I'll be honest. So I decided to use spruce planks instead, just because it was a bit more of a darker shading. And luckily I had spruce saplings, so this made it really easy to get spruce wood, just because you could do that weird 4x4, or sorry, 2x2 trick. And yeah, I did it in that weird pattern and with cobblestone, obviously, because I'm basic, and well, I mean, it was the easiest material to have, so I don't regret it. And yeah, most of this was just me mining out and hollowing out the mountain, just because, well, I mean, obviously I need enough room. I was still kind of just winging it. I didn't have a specific design in mind, but honestly, when do I ever have a specific design in mind? But I was just kind of going for simplicity. And yeah, you could even see this like really thin room that I'm in. I don't even know what it was used for. I'm just kind of oh my god. And look, the slab art came back. Yes, don't worry, I still use slabs a lot. I don't know why people get mad at me whenever I use slabs, or they just kind of think it's weird. I mean, I think it's fine. And yeah, for the next couple of days, I decided to make that room a farm. And I guess my brain wasn't working because, as I said earlier, there's a lot of hay bales. So, I mean, there's not really any need for a farm. But I just decided, you know what? I'll have a farm. Probably one of the most pointless things I've probably ever done in my life. You know, making a farm, even though it is really unnecessary. I mean, look, I literally have 43 bread and like 10 hay bales left. But yeah, I finished up most of the wall. I don't think I finished all of it, just because it takes a while to smelt. But yeah, I was finished with my house, and it didn't look too bad. And after that, I decided to go in and make a cave, just because, you know, it's day 24 and I have not found any diamonds. And usually I'm way more efficient with this type of stuff, especially since it's a village only world. I mean, literally ores should be really easy to find. But I mean, I still found iron and coal. I mean, it's not anything crazy, but I'd still take it. And after mining for a bit, I hit a lot of dead ends, and it kind of sucked. But eventually I found this really huge ravine, but I mean, there were a lot of mobs there, so I kind of played it safe, you know, kind of blocked it off because I didn't want to die. Remember, it's a hardcore world, you know, the point is not to die. And I found a pretty wealthy amount of iron. But anyways, I started to make this staircase down, and honestly, it looks really trippy. Day 27, I didn't really do anything other than get some hay bales for food, just because, you know, I made a farm, and I don't use it. It's pretty ironic. Day 28, and I'm expanding my house. What a surprise. And what's even more of a surprise is that I have no idea what this room is going to be used for either. I really am terrible at planning. But I kind of went with the same design, you know, spruce planks and cobblestone flooring just because it's easy. And then I'm pretty sure I used stone bricks for the wall just because it's also easy. I think you guys are starting to understand the theme of what I do. And if you somehow don't, it's pretty much simple. I take the easy way out. And for some reason, when I was building this room, a villager just popped up out of nowhere. I don't know why he's in my house. I don't know how he got in. Yeah, he kept bothering me. I'm just trying to build a house, man. Come on. On day 32, I went to the nether to go ahead and try to get some blaze rods to go to the end. And probably something that I should have known is that since the bastions and fortresses increased, so does the mob. So yeah, it was pretty difficult trying to stay alive. But after towering my way through this like maze, it was really difficult. I finally found a blaze spawner, and yeah, I just went ahead to kill some blazes. I didn't get that many blaze rods the first time, but eventually I'd get more. And yeah, I was actually really close to dying countless times. But I think what you see right here was probably the lowest I ever gone. I was literally at 2 hearts, and yeah, it could have ended right there. So I just decided to try to head back, but I got lost. I mean, it's not really a surprise. I mean, I'm really dumb. But yeah, eventually I found another blaze spawner. I just decided, you know what? Why not go ahead and try to get the rest of the blaze rods? So I did. And yeah, right before I headed home, I had enough blaze rods. Finally, it took a pretty long time. Now, I had enough blaze rods, but I still needed ender pearls. So I decided probably the easiest way was just use piglin trading. And yeah, it was way longer than I expected. I don't know. I literally used like 2 full stacks of gold, and I barely got enough. Really upset by that. But eventually, I almost ran out of gold, and I had 8 ender pearls, so I just settled with that. I mean, it's better than having like none. And on day 38, I decided to go ahead and try to find the stronghold, and I was feeling pretty confident. Then halfway through, I just decided, you know what? I did not have like any materials at all. I didn't even have a bow, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll wait till later. Day 40 was a pretty good day. I went mining for a bit, and I actually found some diamonds. But I only mined 3 of them because I only needed enough for a pickaxe. And I was going to use the rest of the diamonds that were there and mine them with my fortune pickaxe, which I was planning on doing. And then I realized that I didn't really have any emeralds for trading with villagers, so I decided to put a Fletcher in my house and use sticks to trade for emeralds. And conveniently after that, on day 42, I got a librarian, and he actually gave me fortune 3 way faster than I expected. Luckily, I had enough emeralds from the Fletcher, and I bought some and made an anvil and put it on my diamond pickaxe so I could go get those diamonds. But for some odd reason, I just decided the next day to go find the stronghold, but not to actually go to the end, just so I could find a stronghold, build a nether portal there, and then so I could go through the nether to my house to the stronghold, just so it's a bit faster. And it did take a bit of time. Luckily, I found a lot of ruined portals on the way, so made me have enough obsidian for a portal in the first place, which was really lucky. And eventually, I got to the point where I started to dig down, and I found the stronghold, which was really nice. For days 48 and 49, while I was exploring the stronghold, I also really wanted to find the library because I needed a lot of books, so I decided that once I found one, I would just mine out literally everything there, and I did, which I was really happy about. It even had some pretty good enchants, not the best, I'd say, but I mean, obviously not going to be the best ones. And after mining almost all of the bookshelves, I actually started to hear lava, and I was wondering if the end portal was right under me. So I decided to mine down a bit, and I was right. The actual end portal was right under the library, which was, I would say, pretty convenient for me. It didn't make me waste a lot of time. So yeah, after dealing with an obscene amount of silverfish, like they just kept spawning over and over again, I finally got the nether portal built, and I was ready to go back home. And yeah, but for days 50 and 51, it did take a while because most of what I had to go through was me just mining through it all, and there wasn't really any open areas. So it did take a pretty decent amount of time just to get from one portal to the other one. So that's why it took a while. And yeah, after a pretty long time, I finally got to a specific area that I kind of remembered. And yeah, I made it back to the other portal, which is going to be really useful to whenever I finally have enough Eyes of Ender to actually create the portal. It's just going to make things so much easier. Day 52 wasn't much. I finally made an enchant table. I usually just go for villagers just to get enchant books, but I decided to finally go for the enchant table just because it was easier. Days 53 to 60, I mainly focused on the mines just because, well, like I said, I didn't really have that many diamonds or iron for that matter. It was actually kind of sad how little I had. But there was like this cool area. Like I said, I found that ravine, but I had to close it off just because there was a lot of mobs there. And, you know, as hardcore worlds go, you don't want to die instantly. But yeah, sadly, throughout this whole time, I don't think I even found any diamonds. Or so I thought. Apparently, on the last day, on day 60, I managed to find a good ravine of diamonds. I think I actually got a total of 23 from that 6th vein. So I was really happy about that. Day 61, I didn't do much either. I decided to create this fence pane so where I could breed sheep in order to get their wool. I even found this wandering trader that had, useless stuff. For days 62 through 66, I mainly focused on trying to get enough materials to go to the end and fight the Ender Dragon because, it was already pretty late in the 100 days, and usually I'm pretty efficient, but I was kind of taking things a bit slower for this 100 days. But yeah, I just spent most of the time just trying to get enough materials and stuff so I could kill the Ender Dragon and not have to worry about not having enough stuff. And yeah, I almost had enough stuff. The last thing I needed was a bit more Ender Pearls, so I went to the piglins and traded with them, hopefully to get enough, and luckily I did. Again, it takes forever to get Ender Pearls. I was like, why is this taking so long? Anyways, for day 67 and 68, after I finally had enough stuff, I was ready to go to the end and kill the Ender Dragon. Although it did take a while. Yes, I had my way through the Nether, but it still takes a pretty long time because in the overworld I was like 2,000 blocks away, so in the Nether I think I was like 800. I think I am probably completely wrong about that, but I don't care. It's somewhere I don't need to know about math. But finally on day 69, nice, I finally made to the end and got ready to kill the Ender Dragon. And my bowing skills aren't the best, as you guys can see here. It took almost 2 full stacks of arrows, but luckily after destroying all the end crystals, only a matter of just shooting the Ender Dragon and hitting him with the sword, which did take pretty long because all I had was a normal iron sword and bow. I mean, it didn't have any enchants. Usually it does, but nah, didn't have anything, honestly. But I did make this pretty cool water bucket clutch. I'm proud about that one. Finally killed the Ender Dragon. Took too long, but then again, like I said, just had an iron sword and a normal bow. Probably should have came more prepared next time. But as you know, I gotta get that XP because there's a lot of it. Day 70 and 71 was a pretty chill day. All I did was went back to my home and gathered some materials before I went to the end city. And same with day 72. It was just me going from my home to the other portal. Like I said, it doesn't take that long, but it does take a whole day just because it's like 1,000 blocks out. I still don't know. And this is me just staring up to the end gateway portal, I think. Okay, so this is going to get very confusing, but I'm going to try to explain it as best I can. So apparently the way the world works is it increases the spawn rate of villages and any other structure. And I guess that includes all the end cities because as you guys can see, there was so much. There were so many shulkers. I was scared my computer was going to crash because of all the things that need loaded. It was insane. But on the bright side of things is that there was higher chance of me finding an end ship and getting a bunch of good loot. So I was really happy about that. And you could see there was an end ship in between a tower, so I actually managed to find my first elytra and I actually had some pretty good diamond armor. Some of it had Curse of Vanishing or Binding, so obviously didn't get that, but I was happy I got my first elytra. And yeah, honestly, most of these days is just me completely ransacking all of the end cities. I was kind of happy that this spawn rate thing increased on the end cities because it makes things so much easier. I was finding so many elytras, I was getting richer and richer, had some really good diamond armor that I kept just because, well, it was better than what I had now. Before that, I literally just had iron armor and an iron sword. And you can see my inventory. I literally have freaking 5 elytras and like 2 stacks of gold. I almost cried. But yeah, after losing a lot of these cities, and I just decided, you know what? It's been a bit, so I decided to go ahead and go home just because, I mean, I didn't really need that many elytras. I literally had 5. If I managed to lose 5, that's on me. By this point, it was day 81, and I realized that, you know what? I finally have diamond armor, so I should probably try to get some ancient debris and get some netherite armor. So I just spent most of the day just trying to get enough beds because, shear sheep and then get some wood and get ready to go try to find some ancient debris in the nether. Also, I had a shulker box, which made things very easier to put stuff in and not have to waste room in my inventory. So on day 83, after I had all the stuff I need, I decided to go down and try to find some ancient debris. And the whole time, I used almost every single one of those beds. I found nothing. Like, really? This is some bullshit. Anyways, after that really big letdown, I just decided to go ahead and build an iron golem farm just because that's something I think is a staple in my 100 days videos, and I almost forgot to do it. I was like, you know what? I kind of need some iron, so I just decided, you know what? I'll build one anyways. I had enough time, and I had plenty of villagers. Like, there's freaking like hundreds of them everywhere. And then again, since I've done this almost every time, it's pretty easy for me to actually build it. So it only took me 2 days. Pretty easy. And it's way easier with diamond tools. So on day 87 was actually a good day. As you guys could see, I got 1 ancient debris, but the recording was paused, but as you guys could see, I had the achievement. So I felt pretty good about it, so I decided to keep mining, and I managed to find a 3 vein, which is exactly enough to turn 1 item I had into a netherite armor or tool. So while I was waiting for the ancient debris to smell, I was kind of thinking about what to use it on, and I just decided to go ahead and use it on my sword just because, well, I kind of wanted to wait to do it on my armor until I had enough and did it all at once. So I decided, you know what, I'll just use it on my sword because, well, why not? I mean, it's a sword, kills things. I don't know. Day 89 to 82 was a bit more of an adventure just because, well, I haven't really explored the nether yet. I mean, there's a lot of bastions out there and I only went to like one of them. So I decided for those days to just explore the nether, see how many bastions I could find and see if I could get pig step or like maybe even some ancient debris. And I did manage to find some ancient debris, but it was only one, and then there was a netherite scrap. So technically two, and the rest was just pretty much a lot of gold and obsidian. And I don't hate gold, but it's just something that you don't really need. But yeah, anyways, other than that, there was a lot of commanders, which is like the piglins that have the axes and do a hell of a ton of damage. And I just decided, you know what, for the rest of the time to mine all of the gold ingot nugget things in the nether just because, well, I had a silk touch pickaxe. So I decided to mine it. Yes, I know I'm a hypocrite. Yes, I know I just said I hate gold, even though I mine gold. On day 93, I decided to do another project that I think is also a staple in these 100 days videos, and that was an enderman farm that also acts as an XP farm, which is I think what everyone uses it for. So as you guys can see here, I am going down on this really scary leaf bridge that you know, one small move and you could instantly die. But yeah, again, this didn't take too long because as with the iron golem farm, I pretty much knew what I was doing. I had plenty of wood, as you guys can see, like actually more than enough wood. The thing is about this build that I've learned is that you kind of have to build this all in one try, because if you leave and then come back, endermen just swarm the build and it's very difficult to try to build it without you accidentally looking at them. And then eventually, you know, as you guys can see, the enderman is already popping out everywhere, and yeah, if you look at them, you are probably gonna die. Speaking about almost dying, I literally almost died trying to get this stupid endermite, I think, to spawn, but after that I finally finished the enderman farm and this thing was working well. It literally freaking got me like 10-15 levels in the matter of a minute. Anyways, with me feeling really happy, I decided to try for my last project in these 100 days is try to get full netherite armor, and it was a tough task, but eventually I kept grinding and grinding and I found a lot of 3 veins, and I was really happy in the end to actually get enough, which is 12 ancient debris, to have full netherite armor. So, on day 100, I got all the ancient debris I had and smelted it, and I finally got full netherite armor. As you guys can see, I got the achievement. I was happy. I had the camera facing the wrong way, and all I could see was my butt. Anyways, though, I was really happy to end it off getting full netherite armor. I will be honest, I don't think there was a better way to end it off. I just want to say thank you guys for joining this 100 days. Plan on making more. Don't worry, I didn't die. I know I actually got some DMs of people thinking I died. Don't worry, I didn't. I'm still alive. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.